Alright. Well, the last poll ended up doing very well. So, here is the Granite Rock Company number 10. And also a special little surprise back here as well. Um, we, today, hello, I'm Pink Machine by the way, will be doing this small little S-100 tank engine for the first time. A little 060, a little switcher, just a very simple little locomotive. Uh, but so the S-100 was built by the uh, U.S. Army Transportation Corps, the USATC, as the class S-100. Or specifically, they were ordered and built by Porter, Vulcan, Davenport, etc. Um, they were built by a lot of different locomotive works, but the point is that they were a little 060 built by the Army, for the Army, and they were shipped all over the world, as noted here. This is specifically the European or British interpretation, or the modification, not interpretation. Uh, this was known as the Southern Railway USA tank. A few different railroads got these, I believe, but it was mainly the Southern Railway who actually utilized them. Um, yes. So specifically, the only real changes with the okay, well, for one, right, this is a very standard American locomotive. You got your lamp up here, your marker lights. This is your little number board right here. Um, Unfortunately, I was not able to get the what was it? I was not able to fit lettering into this space. So the best way that I could give advice on how to put lettering here is with canvas sign, or if you want to attempt to make text that small, then you're also allowed to do that. But yes, uh, this is a very basic American switcher, I'd say. Except for the fact that it does have side tanks, which is a little unstandard because most American switchers did end up having the saddle tanks. But anyways, uh, British version is more of a, I mean, it is definitely an American locomotive that has been turned British, but it's got these wider cab windows up here. It's got the more traditional British smokebox door. Uh, well, okay, not necessarily, because it's got this handle, which is very reminiscent of the Southern Railway. Because I know that is a specific feature that the Blade Pacifics had, or the Blade locomotives. Um, it's also got your buffer beam and such, of which this is my own custom design right here. It's got your brake pipe and your hook and link and such, chain link, whatever. Um, but it's really not that much different. It's just like a little bit less complex. Like the British one doesn't have all of the wiring or the lamps up here because all of the lamps are oil powered, essentially, right? Or like they have a certain amount of fuel in them, right? Um, but yes, this one did have a large dynamo at the front over here. It would have been in this area, but I didn't necessarily have room to do that without adding an extra block. But this is already maybe slightly too long. Um, but yes. Anyways, rambling aside, uh, this is also, well, both of these are preserved. There are a few preserved British examples, to my knowledge, at least like two or potentially three or so. Um, I have a model of this one as well, actually. Anyways, uh, Granite Rock Co. number 10 is a very specific preserved American example of the S-100 that went to, again, the Granite Rock Company, which specifically was just is a mining company, basically. But I didn't necessarily read too much into this, but I'm going to go ahead and guess that they had at least 10 of these, and this was the only preserved example. Um, but from the reading they did do, it was kind of left dormant for a while until it was restored in the late 90s, and then uh, ran throughout pretty much the next 2 decades up until about 2020 when they had to restore the boiler a little bit better, or just fix the boiler, and then uh, in July of this year it came back. So yes, or they finished restoring it. But anyways, yes, very cute, very quaint, very short, small locomotive. Um, let's go ahead and get into the build then. So all you're going to need is to create a new train in your station, and we're going to not go to the quintuple axle. We're going to grab a train casing, press Alt, and then we're going to go down to triple axles and select the short 060, and that's the only bogie we're using for this. We're going to then also right-click the top of it to rotate it around. Alright, now we're going to need to grab some gray steel. There we are. We're going to grab some tanks and some corrugated. So then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Or sorry, 1, 2, 3. Tank, corrugated, corrugated, tank, I believe it is. It's a 2 block? No, it is a 3 block overhang behind here. And the reason it is allowed to have this large overhang is because the cab and the bunker, well, the bunker acts as a counterweight so that the entire locomotive doesn't necessarily tip over. Even though it is relatively small and doesn't hold very much weight. I mean, the coal is weight, of course, but basically 90% of the weight is going to be at the water tanks and the boiler up here. Whereas back here is not that much weight, or not as much necessarily. But anyways, from there we're going to go ahead and do something slightly different and start at the front. So we're going to grab our smoke box door, and we're going to throw that right up here. And then from there we're going to grab some copycat bytes. And we're going to start forming our pilot. And then we need our headstock, of which is going to be specifically our knuckle coupler. And then we're going to place that in here and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make sure you are staying hydrated. And we're also going to grab some copycat stacked half layers. I'm also sneezy today. Interesting. Anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to grab some metal diagonal supports from Design and Decor, and we're going to actually make sure those face inwards. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Make sure they face towards each other. Because unlike most footboard pilots, these only have the single peg going down. Anyways, we're going to grab some industrial iron, specifically the plating, and place it into these top 2 bytes right here. And we're going to place a gray steel tank facing outwards here. As well, we're going to grab a copycat byte panel and throw that on either side over here, and do our classic gray locomotive inside. Alright, we can just use the tab up here, actually. Come on. If only the inventory weren't so laggy. Anyways, throw those in there, and lovely. Then we're going to do our smokebox saddle. We're going to place this right back here as well. And then we're going to start, let's see here, on some copycat half layers. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Same thing on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to grab some more stacked half layers here and place them on the left and right sides. Now we're going to grab some steel gray boilers and place those in here, 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 and here. Grab our smokestacks and place them here and here. But basically we're grabbing our shaft, and then we're grabbing our head over here. And there we go. Again, I'm unsure if that texture pack by Teacup is public or not. If it's not, then you can just use a basic coal burner, or potentially create your own Armorer's Workshop piece to supplement. But anyways, next we're going to go ahead and grab some specifically black pipes. So, pipe. Let me see here. There we are. And a bracket as well. There we are. So pipe, bracket, pipe, bracket. From there, we get to do our cylinders, of which are a relatively simple procedure. Of course, these are going to be copycat slabs all the way through, and then we're going to do some locometal and pretty and pink steel. So we're going to do slabs 1, 2, 3, and then on the side over here, we're going to do some stacked half layers of 1, 2, 3. Break that, and we're going to place a black steel tank facing upwards here. And then we're going to do 2 black locometal smoke boxes facing away from each other so the light sides match. And same thing on the other side over here. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. Oh, hold on. 3. There we are. And so what is in these 2 slabs right here doesn't necessarily matter as long as there are blocks here. This slab does need to be a black steel tank for style purposes. And also just so that this has cohesion here. But anyways, there we are. Those are our cylinders. And now we can get into our valve gear real quick. So we're going to grab some andesite scaffolding and some andesite sheet metal, some andesite alloy blocks. We need to grab some copycat slices, some half panels, and we're going to need this bite panel. And then from there, we're going to grab our shaft, and we can simply block pick our bracket. Come on, there we are. So, this is an American 060, so naturally it is rear axle driven. So we're going to place our shafts on the rear wheel right here. I'm going to grab our brackets and place them facing towards our cylinders. Then we're going to place our bite panel on the lower right-hand quadrant. Lower left-hand quadrant on the other side. And there we are. Grab our half panel and place that facing right here, or essentially vertically on the left half of the block. And then andesite sheet metal vertically, andesite sheet metal vertically. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 slices. Then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 of our sheet metals. 1, 2, break that. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do a single bit of scaffolding on either side over here. And that is our valve gear. From there, we're going to go and do our boiler, of which is going to involve specifically our locometal black boilers. So we're going to place them without holding shift. 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that is accurate. Okay. From there, we can go and start on our domes, of which we're going to grab a new block that we haven't used before. These, hold on. Let's see if the inventory wants us to get it correct. Oh, come on. There we are. These black sacks. So, we're going to do 1, 2. Well, let's see here, actually. No. I was trying to debate whether I could actually fit the dynamo in here. Theoretically, I could, but I think it works better if I just do the bell in here as well, because that feels like a better detail. But anyways, we're then going to do some copycat bites. Also, I do want to mention this sack is from direct decorative blocks. We're using specifically the black one, and specifically, or sorry, these are from Supplementary Squared rather, which is an add-on for that mod. But basically, we're using these because these are smaller than a normal block. There's about 2 pixels of offset on either side. And also they're black, so they theoretically match everything else. And they just happen to look nice. And they look relatively like domes, honestly. But anyways, grabbing some... Oh, We're getting the inventory lag every single time now. This is unfortunate. Grabbing some copycat bytes. Grabbing specifically some brass blocks, or a block of brass, a bracket, and of course we're grabbing some black/loco metal. So we're gonna go, actually we're gonna break these two boilers to make this easier, but we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the other block we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back here we're also going to do 1, 2 on the upper half right here. So basically you are creating this shape, and then on a second block ahead of it, we're going to do another shape similar to this. Then we're going to place our, actually no, we're going to place our black/loco metal in here. Place our boilers back, and then we get to do a block of brass and then a metal bracket facing into it, and that is going to represent our bell. And then for our safety valves, we're going to grab some candles. And here we are. I'm going to do 1, 2. And it is slightly offset, but I believe it looks fine, more or less. Yeah, it's going to be up to personal preference, I would say. But anyways, then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are going to be the base. Actually, no, sorry, that's not the base of our cab. Because that is layers, actually. But we are going to start on these side tanks. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, because these side tanks are the entire length of the boiler up to the smoke box. Then we're going to do some copycat layers up here. So we're going to do layer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe it is. Let me make sure on this. Yes, 5. 1, 2, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on top here, we're going to do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. It might even just be 2, actually. No, that's 3. Okay. But these are specifically going to be the cut blank blackstone as well. 1, 2, 3, specifically to match the roof. And we're leaving this corner out right here because the front of the tanks do have a slight slant to them, which gives cabs, or which gives crews better visibility through their cab windows. Okay. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we are for our tanks. Now we get to start on our cab properly, of which we do need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, once again, because the cab and the tanks are the same height. There we are. Alright. From there, we're going to go ahead and start on the back, the bunker and such, of which that is going to need specifically some metal diagonal supports here and here. We're going to need some ladders. And then from there, we're also going to need, I believe it is some copycat stacked half layers, but we're also going to need this headstock in here. So that's going to need a knuckle coupler as well. Boom. I'm going to place some supporting blocks back here temporarily. And I don't think we're going to need the bites. No, we don't need bites. But we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Or rather, hold on, how did I do this? Bite panels, that's how. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The top half being industrial iron plating, and the bottom half being what we did in the front as well, with the metal diagonal supports. But then we're going to go down one block here and do our copycat steps, which are going to be more diagonal metal supports, this time facing the other way, essentially, according to the back of the train. Then from there we get to do the bunker, of which is going to be 1, 2, 3 blocks of black/loco metal, but we are going to leave out this center one right here. Once again, stay hydrated. So we're going to grab a barrel specifically for our fuel storage, grab a portable storage interface. We're going to place a filler block right here and place that alongside it. And then from there, we get to do some copycat slabs. 1, 2, 1, 2. We're going to place our black slash local metal in here on the top bits. And then from there, we're going to do some, it is these black local metal smoke boxes, but we're also going to need some copycat stacked half layers. So we're going to place those all on the back over here. Or actually, no, we're going to leave that out for now. We're going to place these black local metal smoke boxes on the back here and here. So the side is visible here. But then, so the back isn't visible, we're going to place these stacked half layers on the back. And so therefore you get this effect. And then we're also going to place our black local metal around the brim over here as well. Make sure you fill that block in. We're also going to grab some copycat layers, and we're going to place them here, shift-click here, and here. And there we are. That is essentially our bunker. So we can remove these two blocks down here. All right. Now to build up our cab, all we're going to need to do is grab some... hold on, actually. We can grab these, place some filler blocks here as well. But we're going to place these stacked half layers on either side with the black local metal smoke boxes on the bottom layer and the black slash local metal on the top one. Same on the other side over here. Then from there we get to do some copycat layers. Here we are. I'm going to do one here and one here. And then from there we're going to do a slice on this side as well. We're going to place a black local metal in there. And from there, the Granite Rock number 10 does have some more green or teal looking window trimmings. So we are going to grab some warped windows specifically from Rechiseled Create. And we're going to grab the large ones. Yes, there we go. Place them here. Rotate until they face outwards. And here as well. I'm going to break, or no, we're not going to break those quite yet because you do need some copycat half layers to go up here. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to need some back here as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to grab a copycat slab. Place that here and here. And from there, then we can break our filler blocks. There we are. And I'm going to break these ones as well because we don't need those. I'm going to place our black slash local metal in the sides over here, and we're going to place our cut blank black stone on the very top. Then I'm going to grab a trapdoor to place in the roof in this hole right here. I'm going to grab some bite panels to go ahead and do our back head. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Here. Grab our, where is it? It's from Chipped. Our clear lighted glass. There it is. I'm going to do 1, 2. And from there, let me take a look back here. Okay, I see. So then we're going to do some black slash local metal. Let me make sure I get this right. Yes. Here, here. All along the side over here. And then, I believe, in the front over here as well. There we are. Then we get to do our industrial iron. Oh. Unfortunate. That back. I need to, okay, hold on. Let me actually study this and what I did here. Industrial iron plating. Okay, I see. Right. So yes, breaking these layers for a second. We're doing this essentially zigzag shape, this lightning bolt shape, with the black slash local metal, and then we're going to do a single bite up here with the clear leaded glass. And you can do more up here as well if you'd like to, if you'd like a larger window. Like you would simply just break that and do that, and therefore you get more of a you get more visibility. But this unfortunately is accurate to the American S-100 design. Then we do our industrial iron in these bottom two remaining corners, and then we're going to copy this and go out 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 1. And then once again, we're going to finish out with our industrial iron plating. Then we're going to place our blast furnace right there, place an industrial iron trapdoor over it, and then we get to do our control sets. We're going to place one right here, here, but we're going to rotate that so it faces the other way if we, no we can't. We're going to place it off of the roof, there we go. Then we're going to place one below the firebox here, we're going to place one in the back here. Grab a blaze burner and place that right there. I am realizing as well that we are missing a whistle. It's unfortunate. So what we're going to need to do then is just place it under here. So tank, whistle. It'll look slightly strange, but if you want a whistle, this is probably the best way to do it. But we're going to go ahead and wrench the whistle down here until it hits the lightest note, basically. So this is medium, large, small. So we're going to go to it, we're going to wrench it till it hits this one, basically. And there we go. And if we would like as well to cover that up, we can simply just use some half layers to fill in this side and then fully fill out these remaining pixels over here. But I'm not going to do that currently because I don't want to experiment too much. Alright, then we're going to do some copycat trapdoors, and back here we're going to do more of these large warped windows. There we go. We're also going to grab some of my local metal doors. Of course, you can replace these with the copycat doors. And there is that. From there, we're going to need some copycat. Grab some layers with some black stone. This is going to be our coal beds. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then from there, I think all we need are some seats. So we're going to grab, I'm going to grab some red ones. Or no, better idea, grab some cyan ones. That seems like a better, more fun option for this case. Boop, boop. There we go. And I believe that is our Granite Rock number 10. Only thing, oh, I did miss two things actually. So we're gonna need to grab, so these are copycat half panels, right? And those are gonna go right here, sorry, here and here. In these are gonna go some diorite corner trims, and basically these are gonna act as our sunshades. And so from the bottom and the side they don't look too bad, but from the top they do kind of glitch a little bit, and there's not really a good way to fix that. I'm not entirely sure what this would do, or if it would fix anything. Nope. It's just always going to have that, the Z fighting. That is unfortunate. But anyways, there's that. You don't necessarily have to use the diorite ones either. I've had some success using the sandstone ones because essentially they look like they're made of canvas, and I feel like sandstone would be a better representation for that. But the ones in the picture that I uh, was referencing looked more like they were meant to be white, that were maybe slightly faded. But anyways, on the back here are going to go our marker lamps and then our headlamp, or sorry, real lamp. The marker lights aren't exactly accurate for the back. They just kind of aren't there, but for the sake of completion and because there are some on the front, then those are going to go there on my interpretation. But yes, that is our locomotive. And the only thing left to do now is to glue it, I believe. Yes. Of which it is going to be a very easy glue because all we do is place one block over here next to the footboard pilot, and we're going to place one over here next to the marker light, and then one back, and then do just essentially corner to corner. And that is all you need. And from there you can simply assemble the train, open the door, and absolutely lovely. Oh, I did forget several things actually. Hold on. I was a little too quick to jump on it. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to disassemble real quick, and I have to rotate this back around. But also, unfortunately, I did forget some of the piping on the side here. So all this is going to be is a single copycat slab with an outward-facing diagonal metal support. Then we're going to place a copycat vertical slice. Below that, a horizontal slice, and then our slice corner. Same on the other side here. These I'm using gray locometal for. You can also just use black locometal, but that is for the sake of consistency. Reminder to stay hydrated. And then we don't need any more glue actually. I don't know why I grabbed that. But we're going to assemble this, close our doors, and there we are. Now the only issue currently is that extended bogies and blocks and bogies do not offer a variant of the 060 driver set that is rear axle driven. So it's going to look a little strange while it drives, but this is the best that we can do, unfortunately. Anyways, that is Granite Rock Co. number 10. Oh, I did forget an Armorer's Workshop piece. Hold on. That is unfortunate. I tend to forget a lot of things, actually. um, Alright. So we're gonna break, or disassemble this. So, unfortunately, the top of this lamp block right here, or the single top pixel is too tall for the limit that Armorer's Workshop provides height-wise in the armor. So we have 1, 2, 3 blocks by 1, 2, 3, right? So specifically, the smoke box door is half a block up so that it is accurate with the alignment of the boiler. Yes, so this tiny pixel right here unfortunately gets excluded, of which we do have to have a separate piece for that, which is just this tiny little lamp top right there, but that goes just right there, as it does right here as well. And that completes it. There we go. Now I am going to make the executive decision to just remove these ugly looking sunshades, and let's see if we have anything else that might look a little better. This would be the sandstone corner trim. That would be the other one. I think we're just going to have to avoid those for now because there isn't really a good piece for those that I know of. I am going to grab these copycat slices in place of those then and just place them all along the roof trim right here. And then we now have a completed locomotive. But we're not done quite yet because we do have the other variant that we're going to work on. So we're going to copy this using Armorer's Workshop, basically the same way that we glued it. Oh, I say that as I break the glue. hmm I may have butterfingers, but anyways, we're going to copy it from there to there. I keep breaking the glue because I keep thinking I have an open hand right there. So we're going to actually just remove the glue from our inventory so that we keep not doing that. But anyways, we're going to copy this over to the next track. And we're going to assemble that. Or actually, no. We don't need to assemble it or do anything. We're going to copy here // deselect. Come over to the other track and paste right there. There we are. Now I have two of these little buggers. So the only changes we really need to make are removing the bell back here. I'm also going to remove these candles because they now have less of a support, but we're also going to replace these windows with ones that properly match. We're also going to remove these two little bites right here and replace them with more of the clear leaded glass, so that way they connect horizontally. Speaking of clear leaded glass, we're going to need those for all of these windows in here. Alright, and then from there we're going to need to remove all of these back here, and I'm also going to make the decision to not utilize my buffer beams, because that is kind of too big of a piece to not utilize necessarily. And see, I would, or okay, it's too big of a piece to ask you to try to recreate this yourself, because whereas these smokebox doors are essentially just using existing blocks, this is more of a uniquely textured thing, which granted it does use the mangrove, but it was a bit harder to get this right because I had to use the Blackstone palette to create my own texture here, to make my own texture here, etc., etc. This is a more complex piece with more different pieces and such. So, I would encourage you to make your own, but I'm going to attempt to use the Steam and Rails headstocks to supplement. So, all that we need to do back here is grab our headstocks. And we're going to create some buffers here. But we're going to place our filler blocks first. And we're going to place our screw links in the back over here. Alright. From there, we're going to do some dye and turn these all red. We're going to grab, what would be the best block for this? Let's actually experiment just a little bit here. Plated red locometal. We could try some red riveted locometal. We could try some smoke boxes and some pillars. So, riveted, not entirely terrible. Pillars. I think I actually prefer that personally. So we're going to use the pillars. I'm going to break our door up here as well. And we're also going to remove all of these gray steel blocks because the British style smoke box is, it tends to be black, right? And so we're going to do, let's see, our steel is what we're going to grab actually. So we're going to place our tank block there, and we're simply going to place our steel tanks in all of these sides facing backward. Then I'm going to grab my smokebox door piece up here and place that right in there. Alright, and then now all we need to do is fill in with our buffers and such. So all I need to do is grab this and this. I'm going to grab our buffer, and we're going to grab our screw link and just place that there, there, and there. And that's basically all you've got to do. Yeah, there's really not much different about this locomotive, honestly. I did kind of forget a few key details to remove on this variant, but is what it is. Yeah, that's all you got. That's the British one. I mean, I suppose the only thing I would do is try to make the Smokefox door more flat, of which I do have variants for that. Um, but I would essentially make this about 2 pixels thick, potentially, instead of the full, or maybe potentially even only 4 pixels thick, as opposed to the full 8. Um, but yes, they do look a lot better with the custom buffer beams here as well, of which this is a full half a block out, specifically for this purpose, so that the buffers are out in front of the smoke box and such, as they should be. And then we're going to remove these back here and place that there. And yeah. Um, let's see. And as well, I did mention that the British locomotives use their own oil lamps, of which I don't have any of those on me currently, I believe. But it ends up being a thing where the standard lamps look more like the American marker lights, essentially, the classification lights. Um, Typically, they used their own codes for such, right? So specifically having a single lamp in the middle right here, because they had basically 4 slots. You had your 1, 2, 3, 4, one on top of the smoke box up here, or on the front. Um, but a single one right here would mean it was a light engine, as in it was only the locomotive traveling with no train behind it. Um, One, I believe, on the left-hand side uh, meant like branch line or light goods, basically, or stopping goods. One single one on the top up here meant like just a standard passenger train, and then one on either side meant express passenger. And then, of course, if you had a lamp on all brackets, then that meant it was a royal train. Um, there are a few other different ones that mean different things, like fast goods, slow goods, but basically it's meant to tell the signalman uh, how fast the train can stop and which line the train should be on, basically. Uh, Now, the Southern Railway, unfortunately, did use a very different system, that being the discs, or the flat white discs, um, of which had different codes on them, different designs and such in certain instances, but um, it was a very, very complex system because often in the Southern you would have multiple railroads, or sorry, multiple lines going to the same place, very close by to each other. Um, so the discs would essentially tell you which route the train was meant to go under, as opposed to like just which track. So often they used single track. Um, but yeah. Oh, one more fun fact about these. So specifically the British S-100s, uh, after World War II, after they were all gone and such, the Southern Railway bought an additional 12 of those for the use at their Southampton docks. Um, Hold on, water. But yes, um, so these ended up working alongside uh, what you may know as Thomas the Tank Engine, the LBSCR E2 class, uh, of which was a piece of shit, and I will not be taking any comments on that. But these were the pristine, very well built dock shunters for the Southern. Very nice, very sleek, very pristine. Very easy to use, very tight turns. Um, but as well, something to mention is that the S-100 is loosely the basis for the class of train, which I believe is Polish, that then went on to inspire the S-060 from Derail Valley. So at some point, if I ever end up doing a Derail Valley video, um, I will absolutely be going through and building or turning one of these into the S-060. The reason that I didn't do that for this sorry, the reason I didn't do that for this video is uh, content, but also because that would require a few more Armorer's Workshop pieces that I did not necessarily have time to make before recording. Um, but anyways, yes, I genuinely do hope you had a good time with this. I hope that it was a relatively easy build. Um, definitely tell me in the comments what other locomotives you would want to see next potentially, or if maybe I should look into maybe doing some more British ones or some multinational locomotives. Like there is the S-160, which is the 280 consolidation sister locomotive to this, which did operate uh, around the entire world as well during World War II, but also had its own British counterpart, which does have a preserved example. But anyways, I have a pink machine. Hope you had a good time, and goodbye.